Welcome to our deep dive into Operation Just Cause, the United States invasion of Panama in December 1989. The relationship between the U.S. and Panama was deeply intertwined long before 1989, going back to the construction of the Panama Canal in the early 20th century. This history created a complex web of political, economic, and military interests that ultimately led to the U.S. intervention. We're talking about a period of significant tension in Central America. The Cold War is simmering, revolutionary movements are gaining traction, and Panama, under the rule of Manuel Noriega, becomes a focal point of U.S. foreign policy. The United States government, led by President George H.W. Bush, pointed to the drug trade as a primary justification for the invasion. Manuel Noriega, Panama's de facto leader, was heavily involved in drug trafficking, posing a direct threat to American national security. The U.S. was deeply embroiled in its war on drugs, and Noriega became a prime target. However, some argued that the U.S. was using the drug trade as a pretext for a more strategic objective, removing Noriega from power and solidifying U.S. control over the Panama Canal. Noriega, once a close ally of the United States, had become increasingly defiant and unpredictable, jeopardizing U.S. interests in the region. The U.S. government emphasized the need to restore democracy in Panama. Noriega had annulled the May 1989 elections, which were widely believed to have been won by opposition candidate Guillermo Endara. Critics argued that the U.S. was more interested in installing a pro-U.S. government in Panama than in genuinely promoting democracy. The safety of American citizens in Panama was another key justification offered by the U.S. government. Tensions had been escalating, with reports of harassment and violence directed at American military personnel and their families. The most cited incident involved the death of U.S. Marine Lieutenant Robert Paz, which inflamed tensions and provided further justification for military action. The Panama Canal was a vital artery for global trade and played a critical role in U.S. naval strategy. The 1977 Torrijos-Carter treaties guaranteed the canal's neutrality and eventual handover to Panama, adding complexity. Some argued that the U.S.'s obligation to defend the canal's neutrality did not extend to removing a head of state, even one as troublesome as Noriega. The invasion, launched on December 20, 1989, was swift and decisive. U.S. forces quickly overwhelmed the Panamanian Defense Forces, and within days, Noriega was a fugitive. On January 3, 1990, Noriega surrendered to U.S. authorities and was flown to the United States to face drug trafficking charges. While the military phase of Operation Just Cause was short-lived, its consequences were far-reaching. The invasion left Panama City devastated, with entire neighborhoods reduced to rubble. The human cost was profound, with hundreds of Panamanian civilians losing their lives during the invasion. The sight of burned-out buildings and grieving families served as a stark reminder of the human cost of military intervention. The invasion's legacy continues to be debated today. Supporters argue that it removed a dangerous dictator and restored democracy to Panama. Critics argue that the invasion was an unjustified act of aggression that caused unnecessary death and destruction. The relationship between the United States and Panama underwent a significant transformation in the aftermath of Operation Just Cause. With Noriega gone, the U.S. worked to rebuild its relationship with Panama, focusing on economic cooperation and strengthening democratic institutions. However, the invasion left a bitter legacy, and many Panamanians continue to harbor resentment towards the U.S. for its actions. Operation Just Cause remains a controversial event, its legacy debated by historians and policymakers alike. While the invasion succeeded in removing Noriega from power, its human cost was significant, with estimates of civilian casualties ranging from 300 to 500. The invasion's impact on U.S.-Panama relations is equally complex, casting a long shadow over bilateral ties. Understanding the motivations, consequences, and enduring legacy of Operation Just Cause is crucial for comprehending the complexities of U.S. foreign policy and its impact on the world stage.